Nelson, it's a point. How do you view that point tonight?
Well, a point is a point, right? Obviously, we wanted the 3 points. We come to the game with a winning mentality to try to win the game. But we went to the first half with 1-1. We started losing the game, but we had to chase the game a little bit. Second half, we did a really good job. We couldn't score, unfortunately, but it's like you said, like we can win point to the other ones that is above us.
Yeah, you had chances. What do you think was just lacking there to get that second goal to take the 3 points?
I'd say lucky. Sometimes what we need is a bit of lucky. We didn't have it today. We work a lot, especially the second half. We try to create. And we create a lot of chances, especially when Pablo came in. He gave us a boost offensively, but we couldn't score. But we have an important game next week, and they try to win the game as well.
Without Mateus Cunha tonight, a good time for Marshall Materazzi to get his first goal for Wolves?
Yeah, very important goal for us and for himself as well to give him some confidence. I think he's doing really well. I think Materazzi is doing really well. And I think the goal is something that he loves already. So congratulations to him, and I hope he keep doing this work. I hope he keep scoring for us as well.
Well, look, the point has now moved you 6 points clear of Ipswich. Is the belief there within this team that you will be safe this season?
Yeah, of course we believe a lot. Obviously, we have to show this belief when we step up on the pitch, and is what we're going to do. We know we have 10 more games, right? 11 more games to play. And we're going to give everything of ourselves to make sure that the Wolves stay in the Premier League.
I've got good news. It's only 10 left that you've got this. You've got 10 games left to get the game.
Still, it's a long way. It's a long way to go. We know we have to keep working hard. We have to keep coming to the pitch and give 200%, because that's the only way to win games and to stay in the Premier League.
Lovely. Well, Nelson, thank you for chatting. Thank you.
Yeah, the thoughts of Wolves' Nelson Semedo, and when you consider that only 2 players in the Wolves squad have scored more than 3 Premier League goals, and that's Strand Larsen and Mateus Cunha. Coming away with a 1-1 draw against Everton will feel like a very precious point. Yeah. And you made this point earlier, considering the form of the bottom 3, a point to your name feels a bit more than that, doesn't it?
It does, because it's a step in the right direction. I know what it's like. Sometimes there's small steps and you think the point's a point, as he said, but it's not free.
No.
Free and back-to-back, that's what you got to look at. If you go 3 points, then you get back-to-back wins. When you're in that position when someone's chasing you and they can't win a game below you, then it almost sends you clear and it's impossible for them to catch you, and they start getting a little bit disheartened. At the moment, you don't know where the confidence is coming from them bottom 3. Looks like they are short of any sort of momentum and confidence. And when you draw a game, it's not what you want, especially in front of your home fans. You want to take maximum points. You want to, take yourself 8 points clear. Would have been very, very nice. But it carries on. The momentum is still there. Rather than getting beat and everyone's down and especially coming on with a break now with the Premier League. I think it's important they got some sort of result. 6 points clear now, as you said, 10 games to go. You'd have to fancy their chances to stay in the Premier League from here, especially with the state what the bottom 3 are in at the moment. It's really, really looking good for Wolves.
How did they do without Mateus Cunha? Because that was a big question, wasn't it, at the start of the evening?
Yeah, I think it was a game that they certainly missed him in that second half because they dominated the game, they had good possession. I think just adding to Tim's point, I think you saw the emotional weight that being in the position in the table they are right now is having on them, because I felt for about 35 minutes the second half they were on the front foot. They were trying. I thought Sarabia made a difference coming on, created little things, a great opportunity with a free kick that missed, just by inches. But then that final few moments, you just saw them sort of have that moment of, we can't lose this because 1 point is better than none. And I think that's probably just where you see where they're at. And that's tonight, a game like Cunha, he would have probably lit up in that second half. He would have loved it. They would have gotten the ball, either shown the flair we've seen so often, but his ill-discipline meant he missed out. I still felt they showed quality. Wolves have quality. The fact they're in the position they're in is almost hard to believe. I've enjoyed watching them a lot this season.
I was just going to say, you mentioned that earlier to me and Tim. They're one of the more entertaining teams for you in the Premier League.
They are. They try and play really attacking football. They play a system that they feel confident. It allows them to get, Semedo down the right. Nouri is, I think, fantastic player. He goes bombing down the left. They try and create things. They've got good you know, the midfielders that they put in the middle of the park, they're sort of midfielders, they want the ball. You know, they're not sitting there, you know, opposite to Everton. They've got midfielders in there who just want to, you know, fight, battle, compete, make it difficult. The Wolves midfield, they try and play, they try and control games. I think Guedes came off the bench. There's been moments he's had good spells this season too. They're just probably missing a little bit in that final third. Strand Larsen came off again tonight. He had a tough night, but I feel Wolves, they do have quality. I think they will be okay.
I agree. I think they've always had the quality in offensive areas and midfield areas. That's why you see so many of them players playing at a higher level at different teams now. Like Jota and Neto, Neves they've had in the past, Del Martino. You know, they've had quality players, and that's why they attract the players. They want to come because it's a shop window in the Premier League. And they play attractive football. That's the way they try, and the managers try to adopt that style. And I think Vitor Pereira has done a decent job. I really do, since he's come in there.
Yeah, and that goes against the grain, really, for teams battling against a drop, that they are so comfortable in possession. Because today boiled down to 90 minutes of Wolves' possession against Everton counter-attacking.
Yeah, well, they know what to expect from Everton. Everton are quite happy, you know, to suffer without the ball. And they break and they counter-attack. Beto, it wasn't his best night. He's been revelation since David's come into Everton, but today it wasn't his best. He didn't hold the ball up. He didn't make effective runs. Harrison gets off the mark. You know, I'm pleased for him because he hasn't scored for a long time. But they lacked quality today. They really did. But David Moyes' side, I think what's good them so far is the defensive solidness. You know, and the goalkeeper has been outstanding at times. And they have nick goals, and then they go and score late goals because teams come out to them. You know, today that didn't happen because Wolves in the second half were like, you know, we'll protect this. We're quite happy with a point as well. So there's a little bit of a stalemate, which was disappointing for the viewer in the second period.
Well, let's see how Everton took the lead. Ironically, David Moyes asked Jack Harrison he wants to see more goals from him, and he produced one, his first of the season.
He did, and it was a good finish. To be fair, you see here, Tarkowski does really well, wins the ball back. Little ball fizzed across the face. First touch is great, sets him up, just gets out of his feet. And then he just drills it low and hard, takes a couple of deflections, and I think it's a sort of goal that don't always end up going in, but you don't shoot, you don't score.
See, Agbadou gets a pass there. He really has he's got problems because all he can do is swing his leg at that. And I think Tarkowski does brilliantly anticipating in front of Larsen. Larsen doesn't do enough, and he nicks it high out the field. And then they just changed the play, and he's got a lot of space there, overcovering from Doherty, and he gets a double deflection. It flies past the goalkeeper, Jose Sá, and they get a little bit fortunate with that. But that's what you need when you're in a barren run like he's had in front of goal. And David, and the manager, is telling him he needs to start improving his numbers. You need a little bit of luck like that. Hopefully now he'll get the confidence to go on and start shooting a little bit more. He's got the ability to.
I was going to say, he's got it in him, isn't he?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
we've seen it at Leeds. Yeah, we've seen it in the past. I think he's got the quality, but sometimes you just need one like that. A little bit of luck and it sets you off.
Well, it's taken him a little while, but he's off the mark. Let's hear from him now. Here's Jack Harrison.
Well, Jack, a point away from home, a good point from an Everton perspective.
I think it's a good point. You know, with the form that we've been in recently, it's important not to lose. I do think there's definitely parts of the game that we can definitely improve on. It's a bit frustrating to concede right after we scored. But you know, I thought we worked well as a team. We were relentless with our defending towards the end of the game, and you know, it's important not to come away with a loss at that point. So I think the team did good to stay together and come away with a draw.
What could you keep working on, especially within that game?
I think we can. There's definitely, you know, the possession side of things, building up out the back and trying to create chances going forward. I think we really struggled to maintain our possession, especially in the second half today. Just led to a lot of defending and you know, just inviting pressure on ourselves. So I think that's something we can look at. But you know, that being said, I think, you know, the defending side of things, we didn't concede a goal in the second half. So that's always a positive.
I think it's been 39 games since you last scored a goal. What's it like to get back on the score sheet out there?
I mean, not quite how I imagined it, but no, I'm, you know, super grateful to get these opportunities and you know, to have had the goal. It's it's a nice start, but I'm just hoping I can crack on from here and contribute more to the team.
And if you don't mind sharing, what are your conversations with David Moyes? Because he sort of publicly called in the press conference for more from his wingers in terms of delivering. So what's the conversation between the two of you like?
Yeah, I mean, it's just been working on specific things. I think in training we've done a lot of individual work with the wingers and little aspects of the game that we can improve on, whether it's crossing or finishing in different ways. So I think the actual work itself has been a lot more specific, and it's good to have that clarity when you get on the pitch, and just a bit fortunate today.
And look, it is a point. It's a point in the right direction. More importantly, you've gone above a couple of teams above you, Man United and West Ham.
I mean, yeah, definitely, it's a great run for us as a club. I think there's been a few changes that have definitely had a positive impact, and you can see that with the results and where we are in the league at the minute as well. So. Yeah, you just have to keep our head on our shoulders, just keep taking it game by game, and hopefully we can continue adding up the points.
And finally, would you consider yourselves safe now?
I think we're in a good position. We've put ourselves in a good position, but at this point, like I just said, we just have to keep taking it game by game and try and get as many points as we can, and hopefully at the end of the season we'll be safe.
Jack, thank you.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Yeah, interesting. Rachel, you kind of hope that goal today will spark something in Jack, right, between now and the end of the season. We were just talking there as he was chatting that he seems like a confidence player.
He does, and sometimes that can be tough because often in those situations you look for it externally, and really that's something you've got to work on and try and find something inside you to really instill that inside yourself, because it's a ruthless world. People won't necessarily do that for you in the tougher moments. So for him, he's a player, we saw when he was at Leeds, there was times when he was feeling good, he had the confidence, he was almost unplayable. I think we've not seen that same player for a little while now, but hopefully, moments like today are the sorts of catalysts that can change that form, and it's up to him now to sort of use that and, show that in training, keep his place and keep those numbers coming.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still in the side. I mean, he hasn't delivered the assists or the goals, but he's there for a reason, because he works hard and he works tirelessly for the team. And it's all about the team for David Moyes. It's not about individuals. So the boy's doing something right. He sounds like a really lovely boy, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Too nice, I would tell you.
Yeah. So Jack Harrison up and running with that first goal of the season. Marshall Menetzi's had to wait far less games to get off the mark, and his equalising goal, having kind of only joined recently, basically was crucial in its timing more than anything.
Yeah, he didn't have to do a lot. I mean, he makes a late run into the box, but he's not being tracked. And normally, Idrissa Gueye is in that position, and I think Strand Larsen makes a good run, just attracts Branthwaite, and just enough. He tries to rescue it with his heel there. You see Branthwaite just trying to back heel that ball, and Menez is a good finish. It's a good finish, because he. You look at Jordan Pickford, you think maybe it's not gone flying past him, but he was just wrong-footed. He was on his way the other way, and it's impossible to change direction for a goalkeeper. So delighted for the boy to get off the mark, and like I say, for hopefully when Cunha's missing, someone has to step up and score the goals, and he's done that today for his team.
One talking point in that second 45, Tim Irambounam came off the bench for Everton. Yeah. He was involved in this challenge, which got a yellow card. Is there an argument that it should have been more than that, Rachel?
I think it probably is a yellow for me. It looks awkward when you see it, first time round. This is when you first see it. You see Doherty go down. He's not the sort of player that does typically go down. So you're sort of trying to figure out how many. You've just seen that slow replay as he reaches for the ball. He catches Doherty's standing leg, and he's probably fortunate the studs don't catch him. He sort of flicks him with the front of his foot. It almost looks like he hurts his own ankle in doing it. But it's probably not quite more than a yellow, but it almost was quite nasty.
It's one of those tackles. If they froze it when he makes contact, it wouldn't be overturned by the VAR.
You don't think it would be?
But it is a genuine attempt to win the football, and unfortunately, Doherty plants his leg there. You see it, and he just twists his ankle onto his left shin. Accidental. Yellow card for me.
OK.
He's in that game tonight, coming out to join us. Good to see you, Jordan. Hiya. Happy birthday as well. It's your birthday weekend.
Yeah, birthday weekend, a bit different from last year.
You said earlier as well that you might treat yourself to a dirty kebab with a win tonight. Is a draw enough for the kebab?
No, I'll go for my Sunday dinner, take my son to football in the morning, and then go for Sunday dinner after. for the family.
How do you feel about the performance and the point tonight? That's 8 games unbeaten under David Moyes.
Yeah, I think would have been. I think I'm a bit disappointed, but it's still a point. You know, still unbeaten in 8, and yeah, I think we've come a long way, and I think we could have created a bit more chances, and you know, they didn't hurt us that much. I think we just need to be a bit more clinical and get up the pitch a bit better and create more chances. And but you take a point away from home and keep that unbeaten run going and keep that confidence in the team.
What's he done different, Jordan? Since he's come in, you look like a different team.
Yeah, I think you know, you see Miko, you see the fullbacks getting balls in the box, and you know, you need to suffocate teams sometimes and keep them pinned in their half and keep creating chances, because when you do that, I think teams make mistakes. You know, they can't defend for that long, and I think just that confidence, you know, tactical work we're doing on the training pitch and creating options and you know, scoring more goals.
Yeah, Jordan, the issue with scoring goals, obviously defensively, you've been keeping clean sheets, you've been defending well. What's been the secret to that?
I think just taking a bit more chances, you know, higher up the pitch, you know, and our positions being a bit more aggressive. You know, in the press, being a bit more aggressive, being on the front foot a bit more, because we know the lads will work the socks off to get back and get into that shape when we need to, and be hard to beat, because that's what we're good at. That's our strong point, you know, not conceding too many. I know we haven't kept a clean sheet for a few games now, but we're picking up results, and you know, lads are working hard getting back in, and lads are blocking Jared and Tati with quality tonight as well. So yeah, it was a good point and all, and keep moving and go to West Ham next week.
And you made a couple of big saves tonight as well, as you always seem to. You're now 16 points above the relegation zone. How nice is it to be making saves and not feel like Premier League survival depends on it?
Yeah, it's nice making a couple of good saves, and disappointed not to get a clean sheet, but it's still a point, and yeah, we're looking forward now. We're not looking behind. Yeah. Didn't say a thing and stuck my foot up.
I think it was the save, this one here from Sean Larson. It's the one there's a great save.
Yeah, it's a horrible one, that, because it's like a really bad angle, but you've still got to just be ready, don't gamble and stuff, and just be in the right position and have the right balance and make the save and pleasing. And I said to the keeper coach here for the punch, said I maybe could have caught it, but I didn't scan early enough to, so I just made the punch, and I would like to caught it and took the thing out the game. But yeah, keep building, keep working hard as a team, and keep moving forward.
Now, there's a lot of change at the club at the moment, of course, with the move to the new stadium on the horizon. You've been such a big part of the club for so long. How do you feel about the sort of medium-term future?
Yeah, it's, you know, there's always an early spark, and the new stadium around the corner. It's all about finishing strong at Goodison and, you know, enjoying them last moments at Goodison, getting wins under our board, because the fans have been brilliant again this season. And yeah, it's a lot of positives going into next season, and looking forward to that, because the stadium's mega, so it'll be good.
Jordan, can I ask you about England? Obviously, Thomas Tuchel coming in. Don't know if you've spoken to him or not, but you've obviously been such an important player for England over the last few years. Are the lads excited about the new change?
Yeah, you know, we've all spoken to him on FaceTime.
FaceTime, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been on the FaceTime. But no, yeah, spoke to him. I spoke to keeper coach Hilario.
Yeah.
And we're all excited, you know. We've not really been together since the new manager's took over. And so our first camp next week, it'll be our first one. And, you know, it's always exciting. It's about taking on the challenge and looking forward to next year. But, you know, playing good football and being top of the qualifying group.
And Jordan, just finally before we let you go, Joe spotted earlier that on your boots it's got "Get the Rave On" on there. Joe loves a rave, by the way, so he might want to hook you up.
Live on air, Lynn. I'm a serious broadcaster now. You can't say things like that.
Are you denying it?
To be fair, I've since 2018 World Cup, I've had it on my boots since. So
yeah,
I like my rave. Had a bit of a rave for me 30th last year. Tonight, tonight's a bit different. So yeah.
What's the music? What's the choice of music?
All sorts.
Oh, that's the answer we like.
Bit of pauser.
What was 31 then? Just an early night and a bit of dinner.
Just getting old, isn't it?
Jordan, thanks very much for coming out to talk to us. Cheers. Thank you.
Happy birthday, mate.
Have a good one, mate.
What? You do love a bit of rave. Why are you denying it? Be proud. Be proud.
I am proud.
Guys, what is that? What is that like when you go into an England camp with a new manager for the first time? What are those feelings like?
I just want to impress, don't you? I mean, he's done enough over the years. Listen, the new manager will have seen enough of him as well, and he hasn't done much wrong. I think I don't see why he won't stake his claim and be England's #1 again. I think he hasn't let anyone down. I think the manager will, like you say, he's spoken to them all, and I'm sure he'll be selected.
Yeah, more than not let anyone down. He's been absolutely brilliant every time he's pulled on an England shirt. Massive moments. His record here, and this club has had some great goalkeepers in the past as well. Neville Southall's at this world, and listen, he stands shoulder to shoulder with what he's done. He's been brilliant.
I didn't realise he's 31 as well. Like, it feels like he's been around forever. I think he's slightly older.
He's still got his best years ahead of him.
Still a young man, especially for a goalkeeper. He can have 10 more years, So
He's probably going to end up in one of those quiz questions in years to come with the amount of appearances that he's made, given how many years ahead he has.
Yeah, I didn't realise I thought he was older than that because he's been around forever. So I still think that the best years are ahead of him, and I think it's exciting for him. And if you listen, this club's gone for a rocky time over the years. The new stadium's built now. The fans are finally seeing some light at the end of the tunnel. And one thing you want is a goalkeeper. If you're going to start, okay, this is what's the next version of Everton Football Club going to be? You want a goalkeeper you can rely on, and he's been more than reliable. He's been brilliant for the club.
And those 2 saves tonight, Peter, again, absolutely crucial.
Yeah, crucial. Yeah, he's carving it. Yeah, I think I knew he'd be quick to thank his centre halves as well, who have been really good in front of them. I think defensively as a team they've done well this year. But yeah, again, 2 key saves. This one for me was because Strand Larsen gets a really good contact on it. It feels like it's just across him, but he reaches down with his left hand and just gets his shin on it. But great save.
Yeah, brilliant save. The one from Strand Larsen there. What's very difficult for the goalkeepers because he's going away from the goal. You can't get a set. You don't know where he's going to go, so he has to react. But again, I can't. You can't speak highly enough of what he's done at this club because it's been real tricky. Everton fans will tell you the last few years have been really, really tricky to get behind the team. But they look like they're going to be safe. And like I said, they've got England's #1 in net, and they can rebuild from there.
Well, at the other end, it was Jack Harrison who got the goal, and David Moyes had been asking for more goal contributions from his wingers, and Jack ended that goal drought tonight, Peter.
Yeah, it was a nice little ball to him on the left-hand side, but he's got far too much room from a Wolves perspective. It was really sloppy giving the ball away as well. I'm not sure where he's going, but Tarkowski, credit to him, he stepped in front of the centre forward. Nice little ball into Harrison, but like you see here, the three centre halves just kind of no man's land really. He's allowed far too much room, but there's an element of fortune to it, but it was a good strike from Harrison.
And it didn't take long before Wolves responded after that. 7 minutes later, they got the equaliser following Jack Harrison's opener. What do you think that David Moyes will be disappointed about? The speed of the equaliser and the way they conceded it, Joel?
Just finding that space there, that ball, that run. I think that's what David would be. His teams are so good usually at dealing with people in that space. Idrissa Gueye gets dragged out, he goes with a run, and then Bellegarde just steals the march in him. But that pass is exquisite. You want to talk about defensively. The way. It's one of them. It just teases Branthwaite, and he just gets in, and it's a good finish in the end.
Yeah, other than running off Gueye, I think it's not a lot you could do. I mean, he had bodies back there, but it was an inch-perfect ball, and it was a great run and difficult one to stop.
And it could have earned Wolves a precious point in that relegation.
Welcome back. More reaction now to Wolves coming from behind against Everton to pick up a valuable point in their bid to beat the drop. Here's their head coach, Vitor Pereira.
Well, Vitor, it's a point at home. How do you see it? Is it a good point?
I don't know. I just can answer in the end of the season, understand? Because this point can be important or not. It depends. But I'm happy with my players. Very proud of my players. We played a consistent game, very consistent game against a difficult team. We try everything to win the game. I think in the second half we had a period with playing in the offensive midfield, creating situations and stopping the counter-attacks. But it was, for me, with this spirit, I'm very confident.
Yeah, was the spirit sort of captured with the way that you reacted from going behind?
Yes. Well, I like to see a team playing as a team. Understand? Running together to the attack, running together when we must defend, and with personality, with confidence in themselves. And today I show everything. We show everything, and I'm happy. Of course, I'm not happy with the result, but in the end, there's 1 point, and 1 point can be important.
Marshall Manetzi getting his first goal for Wolves tonight. A smile over your face there.
Of course, I deserve it. I deserve it. And was a pity that he felt something in the first half, and we cannot take risks with him. In the enough time, he asked maybe it's better to stay out. Okay, but I think he deserved because he's a player that has this spirit that I like in a player. He give everything to help the team. In the end, he scored a goal, and he will score more goals for sure.
Well, their current form at the minute for Wolves is 2 wins in the last 10. I mean, they didn't play like a team. I mean, that sounds quite harsh, really, doesn't it, for a team that put up quite a good fight against Everton. Their next 6 games include the bottom 3. So Southampton, West Ham, Ipswich, Spurs, Manchester United and Leicester. That's not the worst run, is it?
No, it's all teams round about them. You probably look at Spurs and Man United as 2 tougher tests because of the size of the clubs, but those are teams all fairly close to them who none have had great form either, and especially the Southampton and Ipswich games. Those are probably the ones that there's a little bit extra on them. To get 3 points in both of those games, I think out of those 6 would be the 2 that you're going to say win those, and there's a little less pressure on the others.
They're all below 13th in the table.
Yeah, but you listen to managers and they always say the next one's the most important. This really is the most important one. It's Southampton. Rock bottom, tailed off in the Premier League. If they can beat Southampton, it's over. Because the other teams, he can lose 3 games there not responding to the other teams. It's too much to do. There's 2 at the moment, 6 points. To win another game, it'd be almost impossible for someone to catch them if they beat Southampton.
Yeah. Well, there's further evidence of Everton's resilience today under David Moyes. They're now unbeaten in 8 in the Premier League. So let's hear now from the Toffees boss.
Well, David, it's a point.
I have to say that I actually think Wolves are playing really well in the Premier League at the moment. I do. I think they're probably not quite get the results sometimes that they've deserved recently, and I think they're improved. They improved today. They played well against us today. But we done a really good job here. Getting a point tonight was good.
What did you like about what you saw from your own team out there?
I didn't like an awful lot, but I liked our resilience and our togetherness and the team spirit they've got amongst each other to keep in it. I thought we didn't have an awful lot of the ball in the second half, but we limited them to not too many clear-cut chances, and we made 1 or 2 ourselves. But overall, we were probably a bit disappointed in how we played, but pleased with the result.
You called for more from your wingers, and then for Jack Harrison to step up and deliver tonight. Yeah. Encouraging for you?
Yes, he should do. He should, I remember him scoring plenty of goals for Leeds United in his day, so I don't see why he couldn't do it for us. I think he's gaining a lot of confidence, and his goal tonight will help him.
It's a point, and a point in the right direction, more importantly, because you mentioned about wanting the teams above you, and you've taken 2 tonight.
Yeah, well, look, it makes sure that Wolves don't get any closer to us. That was important tonight. The other results, some of the results went to make sure that gave us a decent chance. Ideally, we want to now look to try and catch the teams above us and win the games, and we've come away with a few draws in the last 3 games now. Maybe we could have won a couple of them, but overall I have to say tonight was a point, and I'm happy to take it.
Your next game against West Ham, welcoming them to Goodison. How will that be for you?
It'll be really difficult because my memories of West Ham are so strong, so good. The people I worked with there were brilliant. I've got strong bonds with all the players over the time we had there. So it will be really difficult. But in this business, you have to go and work for whoever pays you. And at the moment, it's Everton.
Look, I know you probably won't say it, but at what point will you say, I think we're safe?
I think we're in a really good position. I do. I think we're in a good position now. When you think of when we started, where we were, and I've just said to the players, no, would maybe a couple of months they wouldn't have maybe seen the game out today. They've seen the game out in some way today. So I don't think we're safe yet because the numbers don't allow us to say that. But it will be getting harder for the teams below us to catch us, and I think that the form we're in, we're capable of going and winning some more games, and it's the challenge to our players is to win. We're saying, come on, we don't want to be a club down the bottom of the league. We want to be a club challenging the better teams near the top.
David, thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
See you
Well
later.
done.
See you later.
Yeah, no Ndiaye, no Calvert-Lewin, no Brozier, and they're unbeaten in 8. He's not looked back since losing that first game against Villa, has he?
He's done an incredible job since he's been there. A fantastic job. I think he's had continuity with the same players. So it's a consistent squad and team what he's been picking. They work hard for each other. Don't score that many goals, but when they do, they win the football match. So brilliant for David Moyes and Everton Football Club.
Yeah.
Well, David Moyes saying it was a great point. He's also not saying they're safe yet. 14, 33 points they're on, 16 above the relegation zone, Joe. They're safe.
Well, I think so, but David's job's to keep the players at it, and so much of what he does is about, the group, is being together, it's being resilient, it's making sure you do all of the things that you have to do to win games and do it well. So I think he has to say that, and I don't. There's tough challenges ahead. If you look at it, he's got West Ham. I think Chelsea are in there.
West Ham, Liverpool, Arsenal, Forest City, Chelsea. I mean, that is a tough run they've got coming up. How long do you think this unbeaten run can go on for?
Well, it's not going to go on forever, that's for sure, because it never does. But you look at that, West Ham was a good game for them, and then the next 5 after that, it's a real tough. That's as tough as it gets in the Premier League at this stage of the season. So they need to be resilient. The players, they need to be on it. And he said he didn't like too much of his team, but he liked their togetherness and the fact that they were stopping Wolves playing at times. We could have done a little bit better on the ball. I think it's already starting to become about next season for Everton and where David's going to take them. But they'll get over the line for sure.
Do you think that West Ham game will be an emotional one for David Moyes and probably quite satisfying to go into it above the Hammers in the table, even though they're level on points?
Yeah, no, I think it'd be emotional for him. He did a fantastic job at West Ham, but he's got huge ties to Everton, and I think he's got that in his blood. And obviously he'll go there and he'll be professional. But I just can't underestimate the job he's done. I think he's been absolutely magnificent. From where Everton were, real struggling, confidence. If you think about it, Goodison Park as well. They just weren't enjoying their team playing football, and it was, you could feel the negativity around the place. He's lifted all of that, the weight off the players' shoulders now. They've started winning games. You have to say they're safe now, and that's credit to David Moyes and his team.
Yeah, they can really enjoy that Goodison farewell now, can't they? Well, David Moyes said it was a great point. Let's see what Vitor Pereira made of it. He's with Becky.
Yeah. Well, Vitor, it's a point at home. How do you see it? Is it a good point?
I don't know. I just can answer in the end of the season. Understand? Because this point can be important or not. Depends. It depends. But I'm happy with my players. Very proud of my players. We played a consistent game, very consistent game against a difficult team. We try everything to win the game. I think in the second half we had a period with playing in the offensive midfield, creating situations and stopping the counter-attacks. But it was, for me, with this spirit, I'm very confident.
Yeah, was the spirit sort of captured with the way that you reacted from going behind?
Yes. I like to see a team playing as a team. Understand? Running together to the attack, running together when we must defend, and with personality, with confidence in themselves. And today I show everything. We show everything, and I'm happy. Of course, I'm not happy with the result, but in the end, there's 1 point, and 1 point can be important.
Marshall Monetzi getting his first goal for Wolves tonight. A smile over your face there.
Of course, I deserve it. I deserve it. I deserve it. And was a pity that he felt something in the first half, and we cannot take risks with him. In the enough time, he asked maybe it's better to stay out. Okay, but I think he deserved because he's a player that has this spirit that I like in a player. He give everything to help the team. In the end, he scored a goal, and he will score more goals for sure.
Yeah, Marshall Monetsi getting the goal for Wolves tonight. They did have to take him off at half-time, though. What do you think of the impact he's made since coming here?
Yeah, I mean, he's been busy, he's been bright. The goal would have done him the world of good. You've been in that situation where if you're feeling something at half-time and you want to keep going because the game would have opened up for him. But I think it's probably a sensible decision. Interesting what the manager is talking about. He doesn't know whether it's a good point. That's a good point tonight. You know, any point you get at this stage of the season to keep that distance with the teams below you is good. And I agree. I think they're playing well. I think they're playing well enough to stay up. And I think you just, for the sake of the league and for the neutral, you want it to be tighter down there. You want it to be exciting because that's what our league's always about. But that's down to the other teams. I think Wolves will just keep doing what they're doing, keep plugging away, and they'll pick up enough results between now and the end of the season.
They did miss their creative spark tonight, their top scorer in Cunha as well. Peter, the challenge, they haven't won in their last 9 games without him.
Yeah, no, it's a huge factor. You know, we touched on it before the game, and these are really, really important fixtures. They're all winnable games. I think if he gets banned, more games, I think he'll miss the Ipswich game, which is probably the key clash, really. If they win that, you'd expect them to be safe. But I still think they'll be safe. I think there's 3 worse teams than Wolves, but missing Cunha for a length of time is going to be a big blow for them. I thought Sarabia did well when he came on. I thought he changed it a little bit. He was forward thinking. He had the free kick, which went close, but I just don't think they've got enough quality in that top end of the pitch, and that could be the issue for them.
Yeah, I think the crucial thing for this club, Crouchy, is where do they go next year? You know, they've had an era where they touched at the higher echelons of the league, whether it was Neto and Jimenez and Neves, and these Portuguese players were coming over, and these crowds wanted more. They wanted to get to the next stage, and I don't know what's happened behind the scenes, but it seems like the investment's been taken away, and then they seem like they've been treading water as a club for a few years now. So I think they've got one of the best, most loudest fan bases in the league, and I think it's just crying out for someone to go, this is what we are and this is where we're going, and we'll be committed to that because they stick with their team tonight. You know, we've been at relegation teams in relegation battles, and the crowd have turned, and this mob, they stick with their team. So I just think they just need a bit of direction for next season.